Welcome back, folks, for a very quick episode of Leaked, because we're covering the Panzerkampfwagen III Ausführung K, the Panzer III K, that was leaked a year and a half ago. So everybody should know about this tank. It's going to be a premium tier 5 German medium tank, and the stats and models of this vehicle were added since December of 2014. So that's a year and a half plus. But they're just going to sell this tank 2 days from now. So very long delay, guys. Very long. And everybody should know about this vehicle since the Tankopedia page on the main website and the wiki page for World of Tanks already has articles about this vehicle. So it's not exactly new info, but it's more like my impressions and evaluations of this tank from the stats. But here's a little history about the Panzer III K. So initially, the Panzer IIIs were meant to be the main fighting force, the main core of the armored forces for the Germans before they invaded Russia. So this tank was good against the R-35s, the H-35s, the B-2s, the T-26, and the BT series. So yeah, it was good against the smaller vehicles. But after the German invaded Russia, and this tank faced T-34s and KV-1s, the 50mm gun was inadequate, so this tank was shifted to a training role for the Panzer IVs, and later on the Panzer Vs, the Panther tanks. So, yep, that's the Panzer III for you. But this version of the tank, the Ausführung K model, so Model K, is basically the command tank, the Panzerbefehlswagen, sure, my Germans suck, but with a modified turret. So what this tank has is 95mm of reinforced cupola for the commander, whereas regular Panzer IIIs had only 50mm. So they boosted the cupola to help with the commander survivability. But that was pretty much it. This vehicle only had a 50mm gun with 50mm of frontal plate armor, 30 at the sides, 50 at the rear. Same goes for the turret, with only 30 at the rear of the turret. So that's the Panzer IIIs, but it was a successful blitzkrieg tank. But when it faced heavier tanks like the T-34s and KV-1s, nope. So later it got shifted onto the Sturmgesetz Panzer IIIs, which is the Stug 3, and became assault guns for the German army. So quick historical description, but let's take a look at the models. So here are some pictures of the original tank. So it got boosted with the cupola, has additional armor like the Panzer IV-H, so better armor than the regular Panzer IIIs to help with the commander survivability. Later they added applique armor onto the sides of the turret and the hull, so like the Panzer IVs, but you can tell the difference because the Panzer IIIs were smaller with the 50mm gun rather than the 75mm. And here are the in-game models. So it was leaked a year and a half ago, so everybody should know about this tank. But armor model, collision model right here. So the best armor is the cupola with 95mm rounded, but the rest is okay-ish. It's a tier 5 medium, so not the best armor, but it's a tier 5 medium, so whatevs. 50 at the front for both upper plate and lower plate, as well as the main hull, so not that much armor. Side armor is only 30. Mantlet is small with a flat turret face, so you will get penetrated if you get shot at, but you do have 10 degrees of gun depress, so go haul down. The rear armor is 50 as well. Turret rear is only 30, so not that much armor. And here are the main stats for the Panzer III K. So it's going to be a premium tier 5 German medium tank. Has a crew of 5, commander, loader, gunner, driver, radio operator. So normal matchmaking will cost 2,200 gold. So that's around $15 or 10 euros. I think it's 10 euros, maybe. Has 600 hit points, which is above average. All premium tier 5s medium tanks have a lot of health, other than the M4 Sherman improved. So that's the black sheep, but a lot of health. Has 300 horsepower, weighs about 23 tons, So the horsepower per ton ratio is 13.04, which is lacking. So not that great. Top speed is only 40 kilometers per hour. Reverse is 12, so a little bit slow. Hull traverse is 38 degrees per second. Average. Turret traverse is 33.4 seconds, or degrees per second. So, yeah, bad. It's alright. I mean, it's heavy tankish. Close to heavy tankish. Terrain resistance is above average across the board, so that's good. View range, 350 meters, so average. Radio range, standard for Tier 5. Hull armor, 50 at the front, 30 at the sides, 50 at the rear. Turret armor is 50 at the front, 30 at the sides, and 30 at the rear. Has a historically inaccurate gun, has a 75mm as opposed to a 50mm. So, for balance issues, but has only 40 rounds, so not enough ammo, in my opinion, and way under average. Fires AP, APCR, high explosive. Only has 103 millimeters of penetration. And that's quite bad, below average. And APCR is below average as well, so only 110 alpha. So also inadequate, but rate of fire is slightly above average. DPM is average-ish, 1700. Reloads every 3.5 seconds with a rammer. Accuracy is above average, slightly, 0.38. Aim time is 2.21 seconds, so kinda long. Gun depression is 10 degrees, elevation is 20 degrees. So average-ish across the board, with a little bit lacking in terms of speed. Yep. So final thoughts and opinions. This tank was leaked in December of 2014, so everybody should know about it. I'm just repeating the stats for now, but the strength of this vehicle is the health, the slight buff to the terrain resistance, then the average rate of fire, accuracy, and camouflage rating. It has 27% camouflage rating while stationary, so negating 27% of your opponent's view range. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's close to a TD. But the weakness is lack of ammo, severe lack of ammo. Horsepower per ton ratio is also lacking. Top speed, penetration, alpha, aim time. Yeah, subpar. So basically, another Turn 3 prototype with a few minor trade-offs. So the armor difference is negligible. The hull is pretty much the same. 50 at the front, 30 at the sides, and 50-ish at the rear, so negligible. But the turret is slightly better on the Turn 3 by 25mm, so not that much. So here is the main difference between the Panzer III and the Turn 3 prototype. It has better hard and medium terrain resistance, better view range, better hull traverse, and more health with 8 more rounds, at the cost of penetration, shell velocity, accuracy, aim time, reverse, and dispersion on the move. So it's very slight, but these two vehicles should feel like each other. Should, because both vehicles lack ammo for the 75mm and slow because 13 horsepower per ton ratio. So is it worth it? Do you see a lot of Turn 3 prototypes on the live server? Nope. No way. So the main reason is the lack of ammo. I mean, the Turn 3 has 32 rounds of 75mm, which is severely lacking. So you have to make sure each shot hit and penetrate. But that vehicle has only 113mm of penetration. This has less, 103. So you better make sure you fire APCR and you penetrate. But I mean, thinking about it, Tier 5 German medium tanks have a lot of ammo for the 75mm. The Panzer IV has 80-ish rounds. The Panzer III/IV has 70-ish rounds. The Panzer V/IV, the premium special Panther tank with the Panzer IV turret, has 124 rounds. I checked. This tank has only like 40. Not enough ammo, so that's a big problem. Thinking back on it, the Panzer V/IV the Panther with the Panzer IV's turret, is super OP now because it got bumped to tier 5 now from tier 6, has preferential matchmaking, has 80mm of slope armor because it's a Panther's chassis, or is it 85mm, but still pretty good for medium, and has a lot of shells with better accuracy, better aim time, I checked, better terrain resistance, better horsepower per ton ratio, and the same view range. Yeah, if you can't get your hands on the Panzer V4, get one, because that thing is pretty OP now. So, since the buff from 9.15, I believe. But this vehicle, so it's basically another Turn 3 prototype. No ammo. So, flashback to March 31st, when I reviewed the Turn 3 prototype. Yep, nope. Imagine playing a backchat at tier 5 without speed and camo. 32 rounds. 32 freaking rounds. This is 40 rounds with less penetration. Yeah, more ammo by 8, but no penetration by 10mm. So, blah. And no preferential matchmaking. And it costs more. 2,200 gold. So, drink my own piss. No ammo. So, is it worth it? Not really. Not really. So 2,200 gold is also a little bit above average by 700. So that's like what, 50%. Holy crap. So yeah, no ammo. Very big problem for these two tanks. The Turn 3 is not as popular, so disappointing for Hungarians because you're not getting the whole separate line for the Hungarian branch, and their premium tank is lacking, so not that popular. I mean, the Ram 2 is also taken off because a lot of people say it's not popular, but the Ram 2 has a lot of ammo with 57mm. What's the best premium tier 5 medium? The Ram 2 is good. I like it. The Panzerkampfwagen T25 is also decent. What, the Pz.Kpfw. 4 and Pz.Kpfw. Black Prince? Ugh, no. So yeah, tier 5 premium medium tanks are lacking, other than the Panzer IV. So try to get that. But there you go, folks. Quick episode. Everybody should know the stats, so I'm just repeating the stats. But analyzing will tell you that this vehicle is like the Turn 3, so I would recommend you stay away from it because the lack of ammo. But if you want to go for a German premium medium tank, I would recommend, if you can, the Panther, Panzer IV, the Panzer IV/Wolverine, the Panther/M10, if you can get your hands on it again. The Panther 88 is alright in my standards, but a lot of players hate it, so oh well. The Panzer IV small term with the wire mesh side armor is decent, but never play it. And you have the Skoda T25 for the Germans, the Panzerkampfwagen T25, which is also adequate. Did that get removed? I don't remember, but as for this vehicle, I wouldn't recommend it. So you have better luck with some other vehicles, but that's my 2 cents. So there you go, folks. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Cold as a dog.